kickoff. And earlier, Dennis, right before it was time for the national anthem, we were talking about Chattanooga FC doing well with a 5-game winning streak. They're coming off a 3-0 victory over Bay Cities. But on the flip side, now let's talk about Los Angeles Force. They're coached by Leon Scharf. They're coming off a 2-1 victory over AC Syracuse Pulse, and also a 3-0 victory before that against Flower City Union. But prior to these victories, it has not been an ideal season for the LA Force. They went consecutive games without finding the back of the net. I mean, that's not a very encouraging sign.
Yeah, before they went on the road, they had 3 consecutive games where they did not score a goal. But they went to the state of New York, and they pumped in goals, 5 total in their road trip against Flower City and AC Syracuse Pulse, and they're hoping probably to keep that scoring going in this match, first one back since traveling back east. So they look to take on the best team in NISA's Eastern Conference in Chattanooga. 19 points on the season, 6-1-1 overall. Here's their lineup. Kevin Gonzalez in goal. And they're 4-0-1 in away matches, Chattanooga is. So they're very good away from their home in Tennessee. And they're looking to put on 3 points tonight against one of the stingier defenses in NISA. These are actually 2 of the stingiest defenses in NISA right now. Chattanooga has only allowed 6 goals this season, which is second in the league overall. Force has only allowed 8 goals in the league overall, but they've only scored 9 goals total and just 5 in those last 2 games. So they need to keep those goals going in this game to have a chance.
And we're taking a look at the starting lineup of Chattanooga FC. No changes at all from their previous victory. Now, what does that tell you about this Chattanooga FC squad?
Well, they're comfortable where they are right now, right? And how could you not be? You're scoring 4, 5, 3 goals a game. You know, you have to be feeling pretty good about the offensive production side. And on the flip side, back-to-back shutouts. So if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Now, when talking about the LA Force, only a couple of changes in tonight's starting lineup compared to the lineup that scored a 2-1 victory over AC Syracuse Pulse. Those 2 players, Abraham Villon and Eduardo de Faria. Plenty to say, obviously, about Abraham Villon, one of the very experienced players on this LA Force team.
Yeah, Abraham Villon, a long history here in Los Angeles in adult and amateur and now professional soccer, and he's been around quite a bit and has been an integral part of LA Force the last couple of seasons. Eduardo de Faria, let's see what he adds to the mix. And if he has a scoring touch, if he has a scorer's mentality, they certainly need it right now. LA Forest does.
Well, one thing's for sure, Brandon Gomez will have to be on top of his game, but I don't think that's going to be too difficult. He really is one of the better keepers in this league.
And one of the more experienced keepers in this league. He's logged more than 3,500 minutes so far in his career and 41 appearances.
And, of course, when talking about firepower, let's switch back once again to Chattanooga FC. Marcus Naglestad has 8 goals on the season, and he actually had 4 goals in one game against Flower City Union. So he's a player that knows how to find the back of the net.
He's leading the Golden Boot race right now in the league, Marcus is.
And we are underway. LA Force and Chattanooga FC. This is NISA Soccer Action, live on 11 Sports, brought to you by TV Max. I'm Art Sakari, along with Dennis Pope, proud to be bringing you tonight's play-by-play. Barely 30 seconds in, whistle already blown. Hard to say if that'll signify a physical game tonight, but one thing's for sure, both teams hungry for a victory.
Kind of a cheap giveaway out of the back there from Chattanooga.
Colin Stripling with the clearance, looking for Taylor Gray. And the players up front definitely will keep this back line of the LA Force busy. And those players up top for Chattanooga, Taylor Gray, Marcus Naglestad, and also Brett Jones. Kavi Kashani to take the throw-in.
Looks like Edwin Rivas, number 92 for LA Force, serving in the role of fullback right now for LA.
A bit of pressure provided. Played back to the keeper, Kevin Gonzalez. I think early on we can really expect to see Chattanooga FC want to slow the game down a little bit and dictate the pace.
On the road, you definitely want to have the ball.
Tate Robertson had it for a moment. Gotta like the give and go he had with Alex Mcgrath, finding Brett Jones near the flanks and a cross in front, and already a save made. The rebound fired into the net by Marcus Naglestad, and it's already 1-0. We're only in the second minute. Talk about a perfect start. It doesn't get any better than that.
Guess who? Nice's Golden Boot leader right now, Marcus Nagelstad, with his 9th goal in 9 games. Really putting Chattanooga on the front foot here in just the first 2 minutes.
And looking at the replay, you can't help but say that there was a little bit of ball watching. I think that long pass caught these LA Force defenders off guard. Brandon Gomez made that first save on the initial shot, but Nagelstad, waiting right in front of the net, like the poacher that he is, finished that with no problem.
Yeah, that was a clean finish. That was Brett Jones with the cross into the box, at the initial cross.
And we're just finished talking about the 3 players up front that always provide plenty of danger. Of course, like I was saying, Taylor Gray playing at the left side, Brett Jones on the right side, Nagelstad as the lone striker in the center. 9th goal of the season. Now we just have to sit here and ask that question, how will the LA Force respond? There's plenty of time left, but this is the kind of start you absolutely do not want, period.
Absolutely. In first home game, back after scoring a ton of goals on the road. Yeah, this is not what they wanted at all.
Well, either way, they need to deal with the cards that they have been dealt. Like I was saying, plenty of time. Really got to see how they will respond. And if they do respond in a very positive way, this really will show the character of this team.
Richard Dixon earns a foul. Chattanooga.
He is the captain of this team. He is able to play as a center back. Today we are seeing him play in more of the defensive midfield position. The long ball played towards Brett Jones. Can't be surprised that they're looking for Brett Jones. They found him earlier, and it resulted in a goal.
Yeah, you got to hit that well one more time, see if there's still some water in there.
Brandon Gomez quickly finding Edwin Rivas. Eder Guerrero did not have a lot of space. Eventually ball finds its way to Daniel Amo. Once again all the way back to Brandon Gomez. Seamus McLaughlin. Once again to Amo. Not a lot of space so far. Chattanooga definitely providing a little bit of pressure. Brandon Gomez with the clearance. Likely was looking for Eduardo de Faria. Went a little too far. Will be a throw-in for Chattanooga. Taylor Gray gets it to Mcgrath. Back to Travis Ward, and that pass a little dangerous. Played back to Gonzalez. I want to say that maybe Tate Robertson did not look fully confident when he had the ball, but now given away. Brett Jones seems like he's always getting involved. And that touch he had, not the best, put it a little too far ahead of him. Made it easy for Kashani on the clearance. But early on, we see how this one's going, and we already see it on the scoreboard, and we're seeing it on the pitch by possession and controlling the ball. And Chattanooga definitely feeling good, looking very confident.
LA Force already looking like they want to chase the game here, and they're not feeling comfortable at all.
Broken up momentarily. That was Andrew Benitez sending it up. But one thing that we need to see this LA Force team do, and I'm sure head coach Leon Scharf would obviously like to see this, that the LA Force really need to find a way, really need to make it their first objective to be controlling the ball. And, you know, they're at home. They're going to want to dictate this game the best they can. But if they're just, you know, getting into breaking up passes and kind of just clearing the ball really quickly, you know, it's playing right into what Chattanooga would like.
Absolutely. Chattanooga wants the ball. LA Force, of course, wants the ball too, but they're not having much of it. Foul called in the back. Nagelstad, Seamus, who actually scored his first goal on the road this last road trip for LA Force.
Easy call for the official. Obviously, Seamus McLaughlin not too happy with that, but can't be surprised with a little bit of physical play. DeFaria having a little bit of trouble. Ends up losing that to Taylor Gray. And Gray with plenty of space down the left side of the field. Cuts it back to Ian Cerro. Cerro looking for an option. He's got Travis Ward. Now looking for Dixon. That one given away. And it's those giveaways in the middle third of the field where the LA Force really need to take advantage and need to find ways to punish Chattanooga. And so far, it looks like that's what they're trying to do. Eder Guerrero having to readjust. Does find Abraham Villon on the outside. Villon for a moment thinking about possibly bringing it back into the center of the pitch. Instead, gets it to Daniel Amo. And Amo, patience paying off here. Amo finding Eder Guerrero. Is he going to have the space for a shot? He was looking for Samuel Goni. Now Villon, top of the penalty area. Didn't have the touch that he wanted. Taken away momentarily. And Taylor Gray, hearing his name a lot tonight. You got to like the energy he brings to this Chattanooga squad.
Yeah, he has quite a bit of flair. Of course, he tried to break out there, but they've slowed things down. Chattanooga has. That last possession was the best from LA Force so far. Worked the ball in a couple of times. They weren't able to find a final look at the goal, but it was a little bit better.
And Taylor Gray good with the footwork. And good work once again by these defensive midfielders for Chattanooga. Now it's Tate Robertson pushing up, quickly finding Brett Jones. Jones has Robertson on the overlap, elects to keep it himself. Instead finds Naglestad. Back to Jones. Now to Robertson with the cross. Did take a deflection. A small deflection, I'd say. But Brandon Gomez not taking any chances.
Bears able to dive and grab it. He's feeling it right at the moment, though. LA Force defenders giving Chattanooga's attackers a lot of space, not closing down immediately and letting them pick their heads up and look for passes, which doesn't bode well for Gomez.
And when taking a look at the personnel on the field, mainly right now talking about the midfield of Chattanooga, we do see Richard Dixon, the captain, playing as a holding defensive midfielder, but these other two midfielders in front of him, Alex Mcgrath and Ian Serro, they definitely look very comfortable where they're playing. I mean, depending on how this game goes, do you expect you maybe might see possibly Mcgrath or Serro pulling back to be one of the other defensive midfielders?
I don't know. Dixon's pretty stout there in the middle. I think he covers a ton of ground and allows them to free up and attack. So unless they get a multiple goal lead, I think they kind of stay what they're doing. Dixon really clogs a lot of holes for them.
Abraham Villon taking the pass from Benitez, finding Kashani. He's got space. He still has it, cutting it back, looking for an option. Finding Villon once again. Ball finds its way all the way to Seamus McLaughlin. This LA Force team, they like to switch the field. They like to move the ball around. They don't like to just keep doing the same thing over and over, that's for sure. Guerrero with the pass, looking for Eduardo. Unable to connect, but a nice readjustment. LA Force with possession once again. Daniel Amo cutting it back to Benitez. Now to Samuel Goni.
A lot of possession, but what are they going to do with it?
Eder Guerrero. Now Daniel Amo with the cross. Headed away. Taylor Gray had it for a moment. Looks like he did win that battle. Got to Marcus Naglestad. Like I say, the referee was probably about to play advantage, but we are getting our first booking of the night. And there it is. Looks like it's a yellow card given to Seamus McLaughlin in the 11th minute. So we have played a little over 10 minutes. Chattanooga FC with a 1-0 lead. Only goal so far scored early, the second minute. Marcus Naglestad, his 9th goal of the season. And like you were saying earlier, what a season he's having.
And the referee got to protect Chattanooga's best attacking player, right? It's a must-have yellow. The first amarillo of the match.
And afterwards, you gotta like what you saw afterwards with Naglestad and McLaughlin shaking hands. These are competitors. They're on the same pitch. They both want to win, but of course they understand sportsmanship. They know, and they understand. They know these players know each other.
Yeah, long histories out here between a lot of these players now in NISA. Several seasons in NISA for both those players, so certainly they've come up against each other before.
Travis Ward thinking it was a throw-in for Chattanooga. The official on the sideline saying no, actually throw-in for LA Force deep in Chattanooga territory. It's Eduardo. Will he want to take a rip from outside? Might have held the ball a little too long. Taylor Gray looking for an option. This ball bouncing around. Ball eventually now coming to the feet of Naglestad. Playing it to the outside to Brett Jones. Brett Jones was looking to get the ball to Ian Cerro, and that one broken up.
Clean coverage by Clayton Torr right there for LA Force.
Villon taking the pass from Benitez. Now the ball to the right back, Kashani. Once again, now it's Eduardo. I want to say holding the ball a little too long, but he definitely has plenty of speed. He's one of the players to really keep an eye on. Edwin Rivas trying to cross it. That one blocked momentarily. Can Rivas keep it in? Had two players around him, but the whistle blown, and Rivas knows that he's guilty of that foul. Will be a free kick for Chattanooga. When talking about the goal scorer of the match so far, Marcus Naglestad, 9 goals in the season, comes from Kristiansand, Norway. Has had spells before with Hartford Athletic, and also with teams in Norway such as Egersund and Sandefjord.
Good pronunciations, Art.
Thank you.
That goal gives Chattanooga the league lead in goals as well with 22.
That ball played deep, goes straight to the keeper, Kevin Gonzalez. And earlier, Dennis, you mentioned something about having possession, making passes, but not much coming of that. And that seems to be pretty much what's plagued LA Force so far this season.
Yeah, a lot of touches in and around the penalty area. Well, not so much in, mostly around the penalty area. They need to get activated more in the 18 and make more movements for their imaginative midfielders to make plays, because they have a lot of good midfield players, a lot of good playmakers. But you have to move, right? You got to find space.
Now Ian Cerro has found plenty of space. Now he finds Naglestad. Naglestad with a shot deflected. And that one was definitely going to be on net. And
Got a lot of confidence there from Naglestad, having a rip there from 30 yards.
Edwin Rivas able to take that ball away momentarily from Tate Robertson, but Robertson able to get it back. He finds Ian Cerro. Cerro switches the field a bit to Travis Ward. Back to Cerro. Alex Mcgrath to Naglestad. Once again, Tate Robertson. He's got plenty of space. He won't hesitate to use it. Brett Jones looking to cross it. Nice defensive play from Edwin Rivas, but it is a corner kick for Chattanooga. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the first corner kick of the night.
I think that's right. Chattanooga just looks more attacking in their progressions and breaking lines up the field. They have an intent that we haven't seen from LA Force yet tonight.
We'll get to this corner kick momentarily, but one thing the LA Force will really want to work on tonight, when talking about how they have plenty of possession and they move the ball, sometimes you just got to take those rips from outside the penalty area. You never know what can happen. You want to test the keeper from long range.
You have to take a couple of chances here and there.
And playing it short to Mcgrath. A quick touch. Not cleared out just yet. This is obviously a designed set piece from Chattanooga. Did not really work according to plan. Villon, calm and collected as always. Can he start this counterattack? He found Eduardo, but the touch from Eduardo going straight to Mcgrath. And it's those kinds of touches where you really got to say, as if you're from the standpoint of the LA Force, it's those touches where you can't be happy with. But now, a giveaway once again. It's Eder Guerrero getting the pass from Eduardo. Now Villon. Villon looking for an option. Instead, his ball going straight to Gonzalez. Obviously, a little bit of miscommunication between Villon and Samuel Goni.
You have to run into that space, right? You have to attack. If LA Force wants to score goals, they have to get activated in the final third.
Activated in the final third is one thing, but also you want your players all working together, knowing where each player, knowing where they're going to be, knowing who's going to make that run and where they're going to make that run. Definitely some traffic in the middle third of the field. Kicked high up into the air by Kashani. Colin Stripling did not get much on it. Dixon had it for a moment, unable to keep possession. And we are seeing some more opportunities open up for the Force. And when I say opportunities that can open up, you might want to call them half chances sometimes, but what I'm actually getting at more so is the fact that there have been some balls being given away in the middle third of the field. So we are seeing Chattanooga, not want to say, relax a bit, but they're not, controlling the ball as well as they were early on.
Yep, that's true. LA Force has had a little bit more of the ball here in the last few minutes, and Chattanooga's given the ball away uncharacteristically as well. So LA Force needs to find a way to take advantage here.
Daniel Amo finding Andrew Benitez, switching the field to the right back, Kashani. Good job maintaining possession. Villon to Benitez, back to Villon. And Villon, pretty much the motor of this LA Force midfield. Gotta like what he brings to the team. Not just the motor of the midfield, might as well just call him the workhorse for this LA Force team. Rivas finding Samuel Gioni to Guerrero. Rivas with the cross. Villon having the chase just to try and keep it in bounds, unable to.
Yeah, Villon running like a player half his age, trying to track that one down. But he is one of the more experienced players in this league at this point.
And you got to like what he brings to the team as well. But if he's going to be doing this all night, you have to assume that eventually fatigue will really play a part in what Villon will be able to do and not be able to do.
Yep, can't pull the strings all night long. He's got to have somebody to finish for him.
Brett Jones taking a shot. Brandon Gomez making the save, but for a moment looked a little scary. At one time, you're kind of wondering if Jones was maybe perhaps going to float that ball into no man's land, but instead just taking a shot and testing Brandon Gomez from long range. That's never a bad thing at all. And someone's got to get that message or get this memo out to the LA Force. They've got to test Kevin Gonzalez.
Yeah, Brett Jones with a long distance crack there. It was dangerous there for a moment. Everybody kind of held their breath as Gomez jumped to catch that ball. So it was by no means a sure thing.
Travis Ward clears it momentarily, headed away, and you got to like that effort.
Dixon flying in with the kung fu kick.
He'll do what he can. Guerrero had it for a moment. Had he been able to keep possession, you want to say maybe he could have possibly created a scoring opportunity. We're in the 20th minute of play. Chattanooga FC with a 1-0 lead over the LA Force. Only goal of the game so far scored by Marcus Naglestad in the 2nd minute of play, his 9th goal of the season. Abraham Villon looking to find, he wanted to get the ball to Eduardo. That one was broken up. Villon looking for an option.
Gomez all the way out of his area.
McLaughlin for a moment found Gioni. Naglestad looking for Jones. McLaughlin playing it back to Brandon Gomez. Kashani. I've heard his name, heard his number called plenty of times. Eduardo on the right side with the cross. Looks like it went off the head of Martinez.
That was a good early cross, though.
And those are the moves we do want to see. Ian Cerro and his pass broken up, taken away by Villon. He's fouled. It will be a free kick for the LA Force.
Villon with the win on the challenge, and Cerro coming in just slightly late. Villon earns the foul.
And we're looking at the replay, and you got to like the word. You can't be. We're not surprised by it. You got to like the vision of Abraham Villon. He knew where that ball was going, and I think from the standpoint of Chattanooga head coach Rod Underwood, you won't. I think we can't be surprised if he does make a change. To start the second half, maybe to have someone replace Ian Cerro, because you cannot be happy with those passes being given right to a dangerous midfielder like Abraham Villon.
I like that matchup, though. I like the Villon-Cerro matchup. I think that's something to look forward to more here in the first half. But you're going to have to man-mark Villon at a certain point, or he will break teams down.
And it looks like it might be Edwin Rivas to be taking this free kick. The Guatemalteco, who previously played for Municipal in Guatemala. So is it going to be him, or will it be Abraham Villon?
You got to play the ball into the box here.
And here it comes. Goes over the bar. Not much coming of that for the LA Force. But, of course, they did make the attempt on net. Obviously, that's one that Rivas would like to have back.
It's a little selfish for my taste from Rivas. Get some teammates involved, right? We all want to score goals.
And that pass broken up by Rivas. Found Goni for a moment. Looks like it's Goni whistle for the foul. Will be a free kick for Chattanooga. And that pass actually from Richard Dixon was intercepted as well. So we are seeing some, subpar play from the central midfielders of Chattanooga. And I think that it's going to be from some of those giveaways where the LA Force really needs to take advantage and find a way to get the equalizer and get some positive energy going.
A little bit of sloppiness now from Chattanooga here in the back. They need to find a control switch and hit it soon. LA Force is looking to build a little momentum now.
And when you see those balls being given away by your central midfielders, sometimes you find yourself saying you might as well start resorting to the long ball if you're not going to be very confident with how your central midfielders are moving the ball. But either way, they've got to stick to their plan. There's lots of time, lots of soccer to be played tonight.
Yeah, it's too early to go route one right now. Route one soccer.
Taylor Gray finding Naglestad. Ball is played to the outside. That's Cerro to Gray. The cross. Looks like he does have Naglestad wanting to take this shot at the last moment. It's not cleared out just yet. Cerro with the shot. That one going a bit wide. It will be a goal kick for the LA Force. But Chattanooga creating an opportunity.
Absolutely, that's an opportunity. And a little bit of a missed chance there from Chattanooga. Nagelstad had a rip. I think that's his third take of the game so far. The first one was a goal. The second two have been blocked. But they're definitely looking to put the ball in the back of the net a few more times here.
We've heard that phrase before. Your best defense is a really good offense. Right now we were just talking about some of the giveaways from the midfielders of Chattanooga. But if they were to turn this lead into a 2-goal lead, that'll definitely make everyone's life a little bit easier.
Yeah, the question becomes how equipped is LA Force to come back from a two-goal deficit. Obviously, a 2-0 scoreline is the most dangerous in the sport, but is LA Force capable of making that a dangerous moment for themselves and for Chattanooga?
Tate Robertson finding Richard Dixon. Taken away. There was a little bit of contact. Referee says play on. Now this could be the opportunity that the LA Force has been waiting for. Guerrero finding Goni. Can he get the shot off? He does. Save is made by Gonzalez. It does hit the side netting, and it will be a corner kick for the LA Force.
I think it was deflected before it got to Gonzalez. LA Force with their first corner kick of the match, though.
This corner kick will be taken by Eduardo.
You're going single name with him now.
I definitely am. He is Brazilian, so I'm doing things the Brazilian way. Eduardo with the corner kick. A little long.
Nobody home.
Goes straight to Travis Ward. And it's these set piece opportunities where you see, when you see what just took place, it's those set piece opportunities you just absolutely do not want to see.
It's an opportunity, right? It's in the name itself. And to kick it too far to where nobody is available seems like a waste. Seems pretty simple. It's not very windy out, so I don't think the wind pushed it.
Or either way, LA Force continuing to show that they are not rattled by falling behind very early. Kavi Kashani to take the throw in deep in Chattanooga territory. Looking for an option. Ball's back in the play. Eduardo had it for a moment. Another throw in for Kashani. Lots of movement. Guerrero felt like he had his shirt pulled a bit. Finding McLaughlin. McLaughlin momentarily almost got to Goni. But now it is Samuel Goni. Will he want to take a shot from outside? Did not have a lot of space. Benitez trying to intercept the pass. Brett Jones doing a good job keeping possession, but now losing it to Villon. Looks like I spoke too soon. Jones whistle for the foul. That will be a free kick for the LA Force. And looks like Brett Jones not very happy, and the referee actually giving a verbal warning to Tate Robertson.
Another free kick coming up for LA Force.
Now this is surely in that zone, in that category of free kicks where you're saying that this ball needs to be floated into no man's land. You just have no choice here. I really don't see anyone being able to put this one on net in a dangerous manner.
This is the moment for Chandler Hoffman. Somebody like that ilk in the LA Force lineup. He's on the bench tonight, though. Not in the game at the moment. But this ball needs to come into the penalty spot. You have to make Kevin Gonzalez make a decision here if you're LA Force. You have to get the defense second-guessing their own movements, and you have to attack. You have to move forward toward the goal.
And here it comes from Villon, taking a couple of flick headers. Cleared away momentarily.
Ball skipped through, and there was a chance there, I think, for Clayton Torr.
Ball's back into play. Guerrero to Kashani. Now Benitez. A little bit of traffic. Cleared away by Gray.
I think Chattanooga's starting to feel the pressure a little bit.
And the back line, of course, for LA Force has been busy. Kashani playing as the right back. We also see Daniel Amo as the left back. The two center backs, Seamus McLaughlin and Clayton Torr. Will we see Leon Scharf switch and mix things up a bit by moving around his personnel on the field. Now it's McLaughlin. A nice quick touch. Found Edwin Rivas, but he was unable to keep possession. Not what you want to see, of course, from the standpoint of the LA Force. Looks like we are getting another card here.
Villon's going to get a card for kicking out.
So Abraham Villon getting himself in the book in the 30th minute.
And I believe she's putting her card away.
Ladies and gentlemen, have your attention, please, at the 29th minute of play. Yellow card issued.
We'll have to take a look at the replay.
Force player number 7, Abraham Villon.
And we're looking at that replay. You got to say you don't like what you definitely don't like what you see there from Villon. So we do have a player down for the time being.
I think Villon was complaining about perhaps a stomp.
And the good news for Chattanooga, Tate Robertson is up.
Yep.
But that's the one thing to actually, touch on for a moment. We know Villon brings a lot of energy to this team. He's the motor of this team when he's out there. But of course, I do have some memories of him as well in this league where he could be having a good game, but then sometimes his emotions could get the best of him.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. They need to rein it in, right? It's just a one-goal game at the moment. Don't lose your top yet.
We've played 30 minutes. Chattanooga maintains a 1-0 lead over the LA Force. This is NISA Soccer Action, live on 11 Sports, brought to you by TV Max. I'm Arth Takari, along with Dennis Pope, proud to be bringing you tonight's play-by-play from the Covina Valley District Field in beautiful Covina, California.
It's turning into quite an evening. Sun's starting to go down. I think it's the golden hour right now.
And with the rain, thunder, with the thunderstorms earlier today, there has been a feeling of humidity around here, which is, of course, not very common in Southern California.
Pretty dry usually.
Daniel Alma looking to clear it. Broken up, but it will be a throw-in for the LA Force. Daniel Alma looking for an option. Daniel Goni had it for a moment. Cleared away by Dixon. Amo once again. Neither team able to really settle the ball down. Will be a throw-in once again for the Force. Amo finding McLaughlin. Back to Amo. His ball taking a deflection. Off the head of Eduardo. Now Villon, once again, very nice footwork, but his pass, unable to connect. Not sure if he was looking for Eduardo or perhaps Samuel Goni. Whistle is blown, will be a free kick for Chattanooga.
Classy move by Villon to get out of traffic there, but his pass was off the mark. Foul here.
Foul committed by Andrew Benitez.
Yeah, Benitez, up against Gray.
Looking for Brett Jones. Can Brett Jones win that battle? I wanted to say, could he win it against Daniel Amo, but then he also had to go up against Edwin Rivas, so it was not going to be able to, not going to be easy to win that 1v2. Villon to Eduardo, unable to keep possession. Mcgrath sends it all the way back to the keeper, Kevin Gonzalez. Dixon to Martinez. Switching the field to Tate Robertson. Robertson wanting to get it to Cerro. Amo takes it away. He's got space. Should not be worrying about Cerro on the ground for a moment. He's up. Eder Guerrero near the top of the penalty area. The touch from Villon to Benitez. Back to Eder Guerrero. Still Guerrero. Now Eduardo, can he get the shot off? He does. Save made at the near post. We see Eduardo fall to the ground. Referee saying no to the appeals for a penalty kick.
She was not interested in that behavior from Eduardo.
Now Travis Ward trying to get the counterattack going. Looking for Brett Jones, and Brandon Gomez coming out. Not looking phased at all whatsoever. Now back the other way. Could this be an opportunity for the Force? Rivas with the cross. Finding Goni. The ball does go out of bounds, and there was some contact on the tail end of that play. And it will be a goal kick. And once again, we're hearing appeals from the LA Force. I want to say more so the supporters and the players.
Rivas just sends a wild ball in, and Goni almost gets a shot on, but hits it up over the bar, kind of loops it, doesn't get a clean touch on it. Kevin Gonzalez coming out trying to make a play. They make contact, but it was incidental mostly.
You know, and going back to that replay like we just saw, there was contact. Yes, we can say that. But you got to like the official's decision to not blow the whistle and point to the penalty spot. You know, like you said, incidental. It's over with. Just move on from it. You know, the momentum carried. You know, the momentum of Kevin Gonzalez. Kevin Gonzalez, of course. There's only so much you can control. But yes, in other situations, you'd have to say yes, there would be a penalty there in that situation, especially if it was, Manchester United at home really needing a goal like in stoppage time.
Well, with Goni kicking the ball up over the goal line and the ball being already out of play by the time Gonzalez comes in, I find it hard to make a call regardless of what happens there. You know, he's coming out. It's going to be a bang-bang.
Now it's Eduardo.
Goni had a chance at goal. Right, I think that's more than the referee could allow.
Ball's back in the play. Off the head of Tor. To Villon. Back to Clayton Tor. Playing it all the way back to the keeper, Brandon Gomez.
LA Force looking for a reset here.
I want to say we got about a little under 10 minutes remaining in the first half. I'd like to say there will be at least 1 or 2 minutes of stoppage time. With the way this game has unfolded since the kickoff, actually, you want to say neither team has really been that much dominant over the other, but it was Chattanooga with the perfect start, and that's how they have a 1-0 lead.
Yep, all goals change games, and the goal in the second minute has changed this game. Both teams just looking to kind of possess, hold, look for opportunities, and not really pressing either team is. LA Force has shown the want to try and get the ball into the attacking areas. They've just been unable to, for the most part, playing in and around the penalty area rather than more direct.
Abraham Villon creating trouble once again. He's got those excellent first touches. And now it's Eduardo. Correction, actually, it's Guerrero. Samuel Goni coming in to help out. Villon had it for a moment, trying to get it back to Goni.
More play around the penalty area rather than trying to find an option in the penalty area.
Now back the other way. This could be the counterattack opportunity that Chattanooga has been patiently waiting for. It's Taylor Gray taking a shot. The save made by Brandon Gomez, forcing a corner kick.
Gray was feeling the far post. And the Bear coming all the way out to get his big paw on it to push it aside, out for another corner kick for Chattanooga. It's definitely going for that far post.
We're in the 38th minute of play. Chattanooga with a 1-0 lead over the home team, the LA Force. Chattanooga not in a big hurry to take this corner kick. Can't be surprised. They do have a 1-0 lead. But how perfect would this half be for Chattanooga if they're able to add a second goal in the late in the second half? Here comes the corner from Mcgrath, off the head of Gray, headed away momentarily. All LA Force players defending that penalty area like there's no tomorrow. They're down 1-0. They're in no mood whatsoever to dig themselves a bigger hole.
Well, when you haven't won a game at home this season, you have to show a little bit more urgency, I think, for LA Force.
Now Ian Cerro, he's got space and actually lost his footing a bit.
Stepped on top of the ball.
I want to say for sure LA Force dodging a bullet a bit there. Rivas finding Eduardo. To Goni. Still Goni. Now Guerrero. Might have been a little bit of contact. Rivas unable to keep possession. Broken up. Travis Ward. To Dixon. Now Cerro. To Mcgrath. Once again to Dixon. Gotta like the quick touches. Ball finds its way to Tate Robertson, the right back. Robertson to Naglestad. Cerro. Still Ian Cerro. Whistle is blown. Will be a free kick for Chattanooga.
That's unfortunate for McLaughlin. Just had his legs tangled with Cerro there. Not necessarily a foul. I think Cerro might have even scissored his legs a little bit to kind of earn the foul.
Surely this has got to be a situation where this ball will need to be floated into no man's land. Brandon Gomez, very smart, very intelligent keeper. Knows when to come out, knows when not to.
Chattanooga's got a couple of big targets, though, in Gray and Nagelstad. I think they're same idea here, trying to float it into that area where you make Gomez make a decision.
Who will be taking it? The quick touch. Actually to Cerro. Looking for Mcgrath.
Not clean by Cerro at all.
Good work from LA Force to break that one up. Could have been trouble if that pass were to connect with Mcgrath. Now could be trouble once again here as that pass was broken up. Travis Ward. Now playing it to the outside. Finds his way to Ward once again. He takes a shot. Not much of a prop there for Brandon Gomez.
Gomez able to come off his line very quickly there to grab that one right before it was like Nagelstad was out, chasing that one down, I think.
And Travis Ward did not get very much on that shot.
Looking like he was trying to play it in back post, maybe trying to just make something happen. Didn't look too much like a shot because there was no power on it.
Play towards Rivas. Frankie Martinez not wanting to take any chances. And now it's Cerro. Plays it to the outside to Naglestad. Now to Gray. Once again to Cerro.
Comfortable and composed Chattanooga looks. They just look a little bit more practiced and polished than LA Force does. Their movements and their spacing.
You can't be surprised by what you're saying. Earlier on, there were some runs. We've seen some passes where these LA Force players are not connecting, not being on the same page, and basically goes right into what you just talked about. Time is winding down this first half. Brett Jones, he is onside. Cuts it back. Nice play by Tor. Ball's not out to safety just yet. Mcgrath switching the field. He's got Cerro. The shot. Nice save by Brandon Gomez to force another corner kick. But Chattanooga knocking on the door. With the way this half is finishing, I think from the standpoint of LA Force, they'd have to be okay with going into the half only down 1 goal, because right now it's possible that things could get ugly.
Yep. Chattanooga could certainly score another goal here in the minutes before halftime, but how about that save from Gomez? Acrobatic, leaping sideways, clear off his near post. That's what the Bear does.
There comes the corner kick. Takes a deflection. Looks like it went off the head or shoulder of Villon. Cleared away by Tor. Entering the 44th minute. Chattanooga maintaining a 1-0 lead. Mcgrath finding Robertson. Off the head once again of Tor. To the head of Rivas. Rivas had possession for a moment, was trying to find Villon, but losing possession, this is what you really don't want to see, and we continue to see the same problems from this LA Force team. Gray, surrounded by black shirts, was not going to be getting that call from the official. Guerrero finds Kashani. Back to Guerrero, to Tor. Now it's Villon. Villon was looking for Eduardo.
Dixon covers up for Chattanooga well.
And Dixon read that one perfectly. Gray finding Stripling. Now it's Tate Robertson. Still Robertson. Back to Colin Stripling. To the captain Dixon. Frankie Martinez to Stripling. Right now Chattanooga FC with all the control, looking very comfortable. Dixon switching the field to Travis Ward.
Just trying to wind this clock down.
Dixon, for a moment I was thinking perhaps he was expecting Brett Jones to make a run, but it ends up being a goal kick for the LA Force as we get closer and closer to stoppage time.
Very nice bit of possession right there from Chattanooga. As this clock winds down on the first half. I think you're right though, LA Force probably pretty happy to get into the locker room. 1-0.
So earlier I said perhaps 1 or 2 minutes of stoppage time. Yes, there is 1 minute of stoppage time. But yeah, I think it does make sense. I don't think LA Force obviously can't be happy being down 1-0 going to the halftime locker room. But with the way this half was ending, they have no choice but to accept being down 1-0. I mean, yes, if they're able to find a goal at the dying moments of this half, sure, that's a bonus.
They got to get back to what they were doing on the East Coast. And obviously playing Chattanooga is a different beast than those two teams are. But you got to find that mojo. You got to find that connectivity.
And of course, you mentioned East Coast. Those victories over AC Syracuse Pulse and Flower City Union. So does that mean that LA Force needs to be in an Empire state of mind?
Whatever it takes, they need to find it. So, yeah, whatever mindset LA Force needs to score goals, they need to come up with it quickly because they got 45 minutes left to try and earn something out of this match.
And that is the end of the first half. Chattanooga FC with a 1-0 lead over the Los Angeles Force. The only goal of the game so far scored at the 2nd minute of play by Marcus Naglestad, his 9th goal of the season. Once again, this Niza Soccer action live on 11 Sports, brought to you by TVE Max. Ardith Dakari along with Dennis Pope, proud to be bringing you tonight's play-by-play. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for the start of the second half. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Covina Valley District Field. We are just about ready to resume this matchup between the home team, Los Angeles Force, and the visitors, Chattanooga FC. We did have a short weather delay, but we are ready to resume this match. Art Iftikhari along with Dennis Pope. This is NISA Soccer Action live on 11 Sports, brought to you by TVE Max. And Dennis, what can we say? The thunder rolls, right? I mean, or it is rolling somewhere, but we are ready to get this one going again.
Away from us, thankfully. It's outside the 25-mile radius that would impact our match now, so they sped up the timeline, and here we are about to kick off the second half. So, yeah, let's get it going.
And this has really been one of those days. I mean, in Southern California, we are used to having just nonstop sunshine, clear skies, all that good stuff.
You're just bragging.
That's true, I am. But I mean, but this has just been one of those days, just thunderstorms, humidity. You know, earlier today I had to ask the question, are we in California or are we in Florida?
Yep, it's a bizarre day, second day of summer, right? So, and wacky thunderstorms here in Southern California. What a crazy time.
And there is the whistle. We have started this second half. Now, the delay was not very long, but you kind of have to wonder, you know, let's just say if you want to debate this, you know, who would that delay have benefited more? I mean, or was it just a non-issue?
Let's see. We probably had an extra 20 minutes to hang out, huh? That's not too much to impact, I think, either side, you know, unless somebody was able to get a nap in real quick.
Good point. Of course, a nap would sound good, but I mean, for the players, possibly, but I mean, that would not be something I'd look forward to.
No, we're not falling asleep. I don't know who said that in the comments that I was falling asleep. I'm not falling asleep.
Yeah, we're just a little bit under a minute into the start of the second half. Chattanooga with a 1-0 lead. As we know, LA Force hungry for a victory.
Yeah, they're looking for the third straight. They got to get a goal on the board, though, here first.
And another thing in particular is they got to get some shots on goal. And as soon as those shots are taken, you know, I'm not the smartest man in the world when it comes to the sport, but, you know, get these shots on goal. Someone else has got to break towards the goal, maybe pounce on a rebound. They've got to make, you know, LA Force has got to make Kevin Gonzalez work. Make him work hard. I honestly feel like he hasn't even broken a sweat in this match.
Yeah, very few touches inside the penalty area so far for LA Force. Just a couple of shots. I think the one that Gonzalez had to make on was from Eduardo, and here comes Rivas bombing up the left side.
And Rivas with plenty of speed, playing it back, and a great defensive play. Gotta like that slide from Ian Cerro. The effort was there. Talk about making a heads-up play. Daniel Amo to take the throw-in, looking for an option. Abraham Villon calling for it. Instead, gets the ball to Rivas. And he looks like he had to take on like a wall of players wearing sky blue.
It's very difficult to get the ball past three defenders.
Yeah, and the situation, and it's moments like those you really got to, you know, someone's got to, you know, have, you know, Rivas has to have that reality check and say, you know what, this is a team sport. I've got to find someone open. Now here's Eduardo with his pass, the cross sent across the penalty area. That looked like it could have been trouble. And it looks like the LA Force did make a substitution to start the second half. It appears that Eric Villatoro is now on the pitch, and that was his cross, you know, playing as the right back.
That was a dangerous play from Villatoro, first time out here up the right side.
And if that is the only change made so far, then it looks as if Eric Villatoro was brought on for Kavi Kashani to start the second half. Ball finds its way back to the keeper, Brandon Gomez. Gomez has very good ball distribution skills and finds Samuel Goni. Does not have a lot of space and actually was unable to keep it in bounds. Will be a throw-in for Chattanooga. Taken away.
That's another new player for LA Force, number 6.
And that is Eric Villatoro. Now Edwin Rivas, can he take a shot from outside? He does have it. He does take a shot, and he scores! The LA Force finding the equalizer in the 49th minute. 1-1, we have ourselves a game here.
Edwin Rivas has been the most attacking player. He was in the first half for LA Force, providing some service into the area, and he finds a little bit of space, takes a right-footed crack, and he beats Kevin Gonzalez for LA Force's first goal of the night.
Now we had Chattanooga get off to a perfect start to start the game, scoring in the second minute. But look at Rivas with this rip from just outside the penalty area. No hesitation, takes a shot, and that is how we are all tied up 1-1. And these LA Force players really ecstatic. You know, clearly you got to say right now the momentum is with the LA Force.
Put a little curl on it, too, in the back left corner. In that little English spot, Edwin Rivas, of course, longtime Southern California player, former LA Wolves player.
And Villatoro playing it back to Clayton Torre. Back to Villatoro. And I think it's that substitution that's also brought a spark to this LA Force team.
Immediately, yep, correct. Villatoro straight off the bench and straight into the action.
So call it the tale of two good starts. Well, of course, a good start for Chattanooga to start the match. 2 minutes in, took a 1-0 lead through Marcus Naglestad. This time, just barely 4 minutes into the second half, and a strike from Edwin Rivas. Excellent. 1-1. How will this one turn out?
Rivas has been playing that sort of floating fullback position tonight for LA Force, getting involved in the attack, also tracking back on defense. So he's been all over the place tonight. I think certainly up for man of the match honors for LA Force at the moment.
Now Travis Ward taking the pass from Taylor Gray. Now Alex Mcgrath. Cerro, unable to keep his footing, but the referee said that there was some contact and a foul. Blew the whistle. Will be a free kick for Chattanooga. The LA Force fans not agreeing with that call.
A little bit of a left-handed shove there from Rivas is all it took.
And Rivas was not happy with that call. But either way, this is not a free kick in the most dangerous of situations. And right now, the LA Force, they've got to be feeling upbeat, seeing how it's now 1-1.
Almost 40-plus yards away from goal. Chattanooga, Mcgrath is going to, or Gray, perhaps trying to float something in, find a head, find a deflection, make some action in front of the goalkeeper here, Gomez. See if the Frog can make some saves.
Just waiting for this free kick to be taken. I just want to say, looking back at the goal that was just scored by Rivas, I do remember earlier tonight, some kind of conversation saying that memo or message had to get out to the Force to take some shots and, make Kevin Gonzalez work. Well, they did exactly that.
It's been a lot of one-on-one at LA Force attackers taking on Chattanooga. Rivas is able just to create some space there and get a shot off. I don't think Gonzalez was really expecting that because they hadn't taken those opportunities yet tonight.
And a couple of touches on these set play opportunities, set piece opportunities. Not much coming of that for Chattanooga. I think the next time there is a free kick opportunity for Chattanooga, I think they've got to just keep it simple. Get a shot on goal or float it into no man's land. These, these 2 or 3 touches and 2 or 3 touches in the pass, not really working. But let's see if this might work for Chattanooga. But that move broken up nicely and cleared high into the air. Abraham Villon had a little bit of trouble with it. Instead, from one number 7 to another, that was Cerro. Now playing it to the outside, looking for Brett Jones. He is able to win a throw-in for Chattanooga deep in LA Force territory.
Good tackle right there from Amo.
And Daniel Amo playing as a left back. Now looking for an option. Now throw-in going straight off the foot of Edwin Rivas. So will be a throw-in once again for Chattanooga. That's Tate Robertson taking the throw-in. Looking for Cerro. Rivas involved once again, and yes, another throw-in. With these throw-ins where that ball is being placed, not a lot of room. You can't be surprised that, it's really difficult to just create something from there. But the throw-in quickly to Travis Ward. The touch. Ball finds its way to Mcgrath. Now to Cerro. Cerro to Mcgrath once again.
Chattanooga playing a little bit like LA Force in the first half. Playing around the penalty area.
Naglestad had a touch for a moment. And Dixon
flying in to get the header cleared away.
will be a throw-in for the LA Force. Only 9 minutes into the second half. Score is tied 1-1.
It's a good look at LA Force owner Bob Friedland there.
Daniel Amo with the throw-in. And here comes Rivas. You like the speed he has, and he does find Eduardo. Still Eduardo. Will he take a shot from outside? Maybe a couple touches too much, but he was trying to get the ball back to Edwin Rivas. But Rivas, it's his moves and his ball and his distribution that got that attack going.
Yeah, Rivas kind of got the hot foot at the moment. Eduardo trying to feed him, even though he had 2 runners on his right side.
Colin Stripling finding Robertson. Back to Stripling. Frankie Martinez. Martinez finding Gray. The quick touch. Not much coming from that. Cleared all the way back to Gonzalez. Came well off his line.
Little sweeper-keeper action there.
Mcgrath.
Looking for the quick one, too.
He was looking for Brett Jones. Goes out of bounds. Will be a throw-in for Chattanooga. Stripling. Getting it to the other center back. Martinez. Plenty of room. Robertson to Jones. And to start the second half, just seems like there have been many throw-ins for Chattanooga on the far side of the pitch. Ward finding Dixon. The one-touch ball movement. Cerro now to Gray. Back to Ian Cerro. Travis Ward.
It's a little unusual for Chattanooga. Usually they're dominating by this point in the match. The last few games they've won by multiple goals. They haven't had a 1-goal game in more than a month. So it's interesting to see how they balance the scoreline tonight versus having to return home this weekend. They host Michigan Stars on Saturday. Tough match, physical match against a physical team. How will Rod Underwood decide to manage the rest of this match?
Now the LA Force trying to get something going. Villatoro finds Villon. Villon
classy.
Cuts it back very nicely. Gotta like those cheeky moves from Abraham Villon. McLaughlin looking for Eduardo. Ball finds its way to Goni. Eduardo, actually he was fortunate the ball came back to him. Was not able to really place the ball where he wanted it to be placed.
Kicked it before he picked his head up and looked at where the goal was. Just decided to have a crack. Had his hips turned too far.
And the reaction from Eduardo pretty much says it all. Played a little bit more, played about 12 minutes in the second half. 1-1 the score between LA Force and Chattanooga FC. This is NISA Soccer Action live on 11 Sports, brought to you by TV Max. Art Sakari along with Dennis Pope, proud to be bringing you tonight's play-by-play.
A couple of stingy defenses proving pretty stingy again tonight.
And Martinez feeling the pressure from Eduardo. He finds Cerro. Whistles blown by the official. Will be a free kick. And Eduardo not giving the necessary or the mandatory 10 yards. Kicked it away. The official gave him a quick warning. If we see something like that again, he'll surely be getting himself in the book.
Yeah, it's a classic delay in the restart infraction.
Cerro creating lots of space. Now Naglestad, can he get a shot off? He does. Save made by Brandon Gomez. Fortunately for the LA Force, no one around where the ball turned up after that save on the rebound.
A great ball through from Cerro to Naglestad. That was a very, very sweet pass.
The whistle is blown once again. No one getting in the book, but we are seeing the physical play pick up a bit from the LA Force. they've got to like how things are going so far with this game tied up at 1. But are we perhaps kind of seeing maybe a shift a bit? Perhaps seeing kind of a shift from the LA Force that the game is tied 1-1. Are they gonna try to pick up the physicality in this match as the time goes on?
At home, that would be the move, right? You want to enforce your will a little bit, and the way to do that's to, push your opponent around a little bit, score another goal.
So a substitution being made for the LA Force. Edwin Rivas coming off, and he's replaced by Edson Alvarado. And that substitution taking place in the 60th minute. So Rivas' night is done, but he can sit on the bench and know that he did his job in scoring the goal so far to tie this one up. And that's how we're tied up 1-1.
Definitely contributed to this match, not just the goal, but LA Force's overall attacking style in this match. A lot of it Rivas had to do with. So how will Edson Alvarado supplement and perhaps change what LA Force are looking to do? Alvarado's very skilled, very physical attacking midfielder.
Now Travis Ward able to bring it down for a moment. A little bit of traffic. Looks like Gray whistle for the foul. Will be a free kick for the LA Force for the foul committed on Eric Villatoro.
Big time shove from Gray there on Villatoro. Yeah, not that tough.
So we are seeing Edson Alvarado playing out wide for the LA Force. Now it's Villatoro. That's a battle we'll have to keep an eye on. You got to like that one between Villatoro and Taylor Gray. Clayton Torr playing it back to Brandon Gomez. McLaughlin back to Gomez. Chattanooga picking up the pressure, and that clearance from Gomez going straight to Travis Ward. Now it's Ian Cerro. There's plenty of speed and control. Kind of wondering if maybe he take a shot from outside. The cross in front. That was trouble for a moment. Looks like that was Naglestad who was attempting to connect with that cross.
That ball went all the way through, though, for a throw-in on the other side. I think Naglestad with a charge in the back on the defender for LA Force on Villatoro.
Villatoro taking the throw-in. Had Alvarado for a moment. Cleared down the field. Now it's Alvarado with a quick touch to Eder Guerrero. Plenty of space. It's Villon trying to bring it back. And the whistle is blown. Will be a free kick for the LA Force.
And a card for Brett Jones.
Brett Jones getting himself in the book in the 62nd minute.
Seamus McLaughlin said, nah, bro, you definitely shoved him.
We'll definitely get a better look this time. And Brett Jones could not believe it when the whistle was blown. But either way, he's got himself in the book. LA Force with a free kick opportunity. Now the question here is, will it be Villon or perhaps Alvarado?
I think it's Alvarado here. Get a fresh leg on this.
Who just recently came on for Edwin Rivas. And if the Force could find the way to take the lead, how awesome would that be for them? And here it is, looking for it was. You want to say McLaughlin was there at the right time, but a good defensive play.
Dixon covering up well for Chattanooga.
Benitez plays it back to Amo. Alvarado. Taken away by Mcgrath. To Cerro. To Jones. Now we are seeing some battles here in the middle third of the field. Eduardo had it for a moment, unable to keep possession. Gotta like that physical play from the captain, Dixon.
Seemed like Guerrero was ready to move quickly, but Eduardo was not. LA Force turns the ball over, and here comes Chattanooga once again.
Naglestad.
It's a smooth center forward move there. Very technical. Switching
the field to Gray. He was unable to keep possession. Easy for Villatoro to take the ball away. Wanting to get the ball instead to Samuel Goni, but unable to. Now Cerro looking for an option.
Villon with the steal.
And Villon just continuing to do what he is so good at doing. He's such a valuable player to have on the pitch. Looking for Alvarado, but just not exactly in the right place. Goes straight to Kevin Gonzalez.
A little too vertical there for Alvarado. LA Force looking to hurry maybe a little bit there, sensing a moment.
Now looking at the personnel on the field and how the formation is for the Force, we are seeing the two defensive midfielders for the Force, Andrew Benitez and Abraham Villon. And of course the players on the wings. On the left side, Eduardo. On the right side, Edson Alvarado, who just came on. And we do see Eder Guerrero playing in the center, at times, the center attacking midfield role, but also, basically disguising those looks, showing a 4-5-1, but it also turns into a 4-4-2. So this really is what we do see a lot of this from the LA Force.
Yeah, I think they want to work that fluidity into their attack and be able to mix up looks, especially against one of the tougher defenses in Chattanooga, right? So, the more that they can confuse Chattanooga's back line and get Dixon out of position, the better the attack will fare.
That definitely is something to keep an eye on. Will it be Eder Guerrero at times to perhaps, create some of these attacks? But we do see, for the most part, a lot of these attacks are created and facilitated by Abraham Villon. He's all over the place. He's not just playing in one spot as a holding defensive midfielder. These midfielders on LA Force, they move around, and they're tough to stop. But now it's Travis Ward, the left back. Can he win this battle against Villatoro? Trying to cross it. Nice defensive play. And it looks like at the last minute it did deflect off Travis Ward. It's a goal kick for the LA Force, but Travis Ward is not agreeing with that at all. And to be honest, when looking back at it, I can't say that I agree with it either.
Villatoro with some good work either way right there, earning a goal kick for his goalkeeper. Dressed in all orange tonight, it's Brandon Gomez. SoCal native.
And he's no stranger to the game. Had some great seasons with Orange County Football Club when they were members of the National Premier Soccer League. A long clearance by Gomez went off the head of Samuel Goni. Now to the left side. It was Eduardo, unable to connect on his pass. Now Ian Cerro, we've heard his name called plenty of times.
And another good defensive play by Dixon, who lost his captain's armband, picked it up, and it still has it in his hand as he was able to make that steal and pass up ahead.
Mcgrath finding Robertson to Colin Stripling. Ian Cerro. Travis Ward to Dixon. And Dixon unable to keep possession. And we have not seen any changes yet from Rod Underwood on the Chattanooga bench. But if I were to make a suggestion, I would say one of those changes I think has to be Richard Dixon. I mean, he's playing very well. I mean, he's doing his best as a captain. He's a leader on this team. But, when he's sometimes losing the ball and, time is going on, you got to say fatigue is becoming an issue. You got to get some fresh legs out there.
He's worked hard tonight, and especially in that CDM role, you do an awful lot of running. And on a muggy like tonight, it could take a little bit more of a physical toll than Rod Underwood is willing to have his captain take. Seamus McLaughlin down on the pitch now.
Doesn't appear to be seriously hurt. Let's just face it, we know these players do want a quick rest at times too.
Yeah, and raspberries never feel very good. So, playing on this turf, you pick up those little black pebbles in places where you don't want them, right? It's very uncomfortable.
There will be a free kick
Ladies and gentlemen, have your attention, please.
for the LA Force.
Substitution for LA Force. Exiting the match, number 77, Eduardo Friera. And the match, Number 9, Jonathan Garcia.
So another substitution being made for the LA Force. Jonathan Garcia replaces Eduardo De Faria.
Number 22, Eder Guerrero.
So Eder Guerrero now is also coming off,
Oliveira.
and he's replaced by Cyril Reyes de Oliveira. So a couple more changes from Leon Scharf on the LA Force bench.
A little bit about Jonathan Garcia, graduate of Redlands East Valley High School out here in San Bernardino County, California. He's formerly a player with Inland Empire FC, and he is now a professional player, obviously, with LA Force, but was the first Southwest Premier player to earn a player compensation from NISA for his transfer from Inland Empire FC to LA Force. Player solidarity payment is the term I'm looking for. But yeah, he's the first NISA affiliate player in the Southwest Premier League here in Southern California to earn a player solidarity payment from a NISA club. So Garcia making a little history here in Southern California amongst NISA players. Great high school career too, CIF champion. Garcia was also the Inland Empire Player of the Year.
So we've seen 4 changes so far for the LA Force. And ironically, we have not seen any changes from Chattanooga FC. So what do you make of this?
Rod Underwood really testing his players on the road. He says 5 wins are not enough in a row. You're going to need to earn this 6th, and you're going to need to do it here in Los Angeles.
And it will be a free kick for the LA Force. We're in the 71st minute of play. Edson Alvarado, one of the second half subs, to take this corner. Surely going to be some moving around, some contact in that penalty area. And here it comes. Parried away momentarily. The rebound. And that one sent a little high, but actually there was a touch at the last moment from the keeper, Kevin Gonzalez, and it will be another corner kick taken quickly. Villatoro sends it back into the penalty area. And the LA Force players asking for a handball, protesting in vain. The referee did not see it, and there is no VAR, so we'll just leave it at that.
Here's a quick look at it again. Ball into the back post. Looked like it hit off the hand of number 2 for Chattanooga, Tate Robertson. Referee has none of it, though. Kevin Gonzalez, right, big save off that first corner to come out and be big, get a punch on it to clear it out.
For a moment, I want to say there almost was a chance for the LA Force, unable to keep it in bounds. Ball went over the touchline. Frankie Martinez. Now it's Travis Ward. So plenty of fresh legs on the pitch for the LA Force.
Really showing off their depth at the moment. Chattanooga going with the same starting 11. It's 2 matches in a row for at least 70-plus minutes here.
Now Abraham Villon continuing to do what he's doing. And kind of surprised that there was not a whistle blown. There's definitely contact. And I don't think Abraham Villon could be happy with what just took place.
From my view, that was absolutely a foul. Doesn't matter the players or teams on the field. Villon is in control, and he's affronted right there physically by Tate Robertson. Or was that Brett Jones? They both have a 2 on their jersey. I think that was Tate Robertson. But it was absolutely a foul, according to the laws of the game.
And Daniel Amo to take the throw in. Looks like he has Cyril Reyes attempting to clear it away. And it will be a goal kick for Chattanooga. So the players that have come on the second half for the LA Force, those players, Eric Villatoro, Edson Alvarado, Jonathan Garcia, and Cyril Reyes. We'll definitely have to keep an eye on that midfield and see how all these players line up. Playing the goal kick short. Nearly given away. Nice readjustment from Dixon. To Travis Ward. Now to Martinez.
LA Force starting to apply that high pressure.
And you just have to assume a few substitutions are coming soon from Chattanooga. I would say probably I think the Chattahooligans are probably wondering the same thing as well.
They got six players on their bench. So.
And a good ball from Mcgrath to Brett Jones. Not able to do it all on himself. And it will be a throw-in for the Force deep in their own zone, deep in their own half of the field. Looks like the throw will be taken by Daniel Amo. And yes, it looks like 2 players are ready to come on, yes, for Chattanooga. It was only a matter of time. And we are approaching the 75th minute mark. Villon lost it momentarily to Cerro. And that's a good ball to Alvarado. Kind of overran it a little bit, but a nice readjustment. Almost got past Travis Ward by that last moment. It did go off the foot of Travis Ward, and it will be another corner kick for LA Force. And are we ready for those substitutions? We'll have to wait and see.
A little bit of spooky music there.
Not sure if it was the theme music, but we'll just move past it. We have played 75 minutes, still 1-1 between LA Force and Chattanooga FC. Here comes the corner kick. Definitely a little bit of traffic. Chattanooga FC got to be fortunate. Cleared down the field, an easy one for Brandon Gomez. Not only is he good with his ball distribution skills, but also excellent with ball control as well, too. Cyril Reyes, great job readjusting. Plays it to the outside to Edson Alvarado. Still Alvarado. Crossing it with his left foot. Headed away. Gotta like that play being made from Robertson. Now Brett Jones looking for Naglestad. Great play as that one's broken up by Ayamo. Now looking for Cyril Reyes. But a great heads-up play from Kevin Gonzalez.
Coming all the way out off his line. Out near the 18 to smother that one. Smart play by Gonzalez.
Dixon playing it back to Gonzalez. Now to Stripling. Now from here, earlier I was saying it looks like there was going to be a couple substitutions, might even be 3. A good ball from Naglestad to Jones. Could this be an opportunity? There was some contact. The referee says no to the appeals for a penalty.
Daniel Amo might have gotten away with one there.
We'll have to take a look at the replay. Looks like it will be a corner kick for Chattanooga.
I think once Jones felt the contact, he knew he was going down the whole time, and maybe the referee saw that. There wasn't much contact there, to be fair to Daniel Amo. Kind of just a little bit of a shoulder grab, nothing severe.
Now for the corner kick, will it be Ian Cerro? It looks like it's going to be Alex Mcgrath instead.
Go from an in-swinger to an out-swinger here.
We're in the 78th minute of play. Time is winding down. It's still 1-1. How will this one turn out? And here it comes from Mcgrath. And getting his head on it was Colin Stripling, but was not able to put it on net. And looks like we are ready for those substitutions for Chattanooga FC.
That was a good opportunity for Chattanooga. Stripling got a clean look at it. Clear header. Just couldn't keep it on frame.
Looks like Damian Rodriguez will be coming on. So Alex Hernandez and Damian Rodriguez coming on for Chattanooga. Ian Cerro going off, and what a night he's had. can't be surprised that he's being subbed off. He's definitely been all over the place tonight, doing all the dirty work for Chattanooga.
Yeah, he's logged a lot of KMs tonight, I think, for Chattanooga. He's been real imaginative too in his play at the midfield position. Pretty good performance. Good count of himself for Cerro. Not the substitution you were expecting, though. You thought Dixon would be one of the first players to come off, and he's still captaining Chattanooga right now.
I was definitely wrong on that one, but hey, was going to make some kind of prediction, that's for sure. Benitez finds Villon.
Both teams looking to find their shape again, I think, a little bit here.
Alvarado, not a Villatoro.
Jonathan Garcia on the far side begging for a cross pass to him.
Benitez finds Samuel Goni. He does not have a lot of room. His cross, an easy one for Kevin Gonzalez.
And not a whole lot of pace on that cross from Goni. Looking to find maybe Garcia lingering back post. Nobody was running hard onto that ball, though, for LA Force. You got to will yourself into this game. Got to find a way to get a goal. Got to attack that thing.
And those substitutions that were made for Chattanooga, saw Damian Rodriguez come on to replace Brett Jones, and Taylor Gray switches sides of the field switches his side from the field from the left side to the right side, playing as a right forward, or basically call him like a right winger. And of course, Alex Hernandez coming on to replace Ian Cerro. Free kick for the Force. Ball's back in the play. We're in the 81st minute. LA Force 1, Chattanooga 1. And it's been a tough season for the LA Force. They have won their last 2 matches, but this is a game where they need to have that. They must have that mindset where this is a must-win game. I don't think you could just look at this game and say, hey, a 1-1 draw at home, we're okay with it even though we were losing. And you got to find a way to win this one.
Yeah, it's just not another fixture on the calendar. You got to find a way to get 3 points here especially against one of Nice's best teams.
And it looks like Nagelstad is replaced by Luke Ferreira, who recently played for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. And ironically, he also has had a spell in Norway as well with Jerv.
Ferreira's going to come out and do the running now up top for Chattanooga. Dixon with another foul.
And that foul committed on Samuel Goni. And you have the LA Force supporters really asking for Dixon to be in the book, to get a booking.
Yeah, he's borderline persistent infringement at this point. Referee likely knows that.
Clayton Torre to Villatoro to Alvarado.
Just a little too quick for Goni.
And Taylor Gray was looking for Mcgrath. And so much energy we continue to see Taylor Gray having. Can't be surprised that he still remains on the pitch. And the whistle, foul committed. Looks like we will see perhaps another card, if I'm not mistaken.
Dixon put out his big left arm, pushing Garcia to the ground, but the referee's going to have to deal with some discipline here. Garcia's still on the ground. Got his hand up in Garcia's face. Garcia reacts.
And of course, we just have to play the waiting game to see what will happen. Will there be any more bookings? Is the main official looking for assistance from the 4th official?
Saying there might have been a kick out afterwards, perhaps. Referee says no more. Garcia's still on the ground. Dixon's still on the ground.
Well, either way, there definitely will be some stoppage time added because of this. So Taylor Gray given the yellow card.
Likely for dissent.
Yeah, Taylor Gray of Chattanooga FC. And getting later in the match, you want to say that these signs are, this is indicative of these players, players on both teams really wanting the victory. They're competitors. They're going to do what they can to win, but sometimes your emotions do get the best of you.
A little bit of bickering now between Villon and Chattanooga's Frankie Martinez. Gonzalez holding on to the ball. What's the restart here? Looks like a free kick for Chattanooga, perhaps?
That appears to be it. It's decent, a good amount of minutes have elapsed since this match was being played. So, but yes, that does appear to be the case. Free kick for Chattanooga.
I don't understand how that makes any sense. But we play on.
And that ball and that free kick going straight to Alvarado, but Alvarado, unable to keep possession, goes right back to Dixon. Talk about your missed opportunities. Now Rodriguez. Not much space. Gotta like to play in the effort from Clayton Torr. And looks like we will see another substitution for the LA Force. And Samuel Goni will be coming off. I want to say, yes, it is Chandler Hoffman coming on to replace Samuel Goni.
The Hoff watch is on.
And Chandler Hoffman with plenty of experience with this sport, playing for teams like the Birmingham Legion, Orange County Soccer Club, and the LA Galaxy. So is he that secret sub? Is he that super sub for these final minutes of the match for the LA Force?
Before his injury last year, one of the most talented goal scorers in the lower divisions, Chandler Hoffman.
We're on the 86th minute of the, the 87th minute of the match. 1-1, LA Force and Chattanooga FC. This is NISA Soccer Action live on 11 Sports, brought to you by TVE Max. Art Takari, along with Dennis Pope, proud to be bringing you tonight's play-by-play from Covina, California. Got a few minutes of normal time left to be played, but you got to assume there will be at least 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time. Hernandez playing it to the outside. Had Tate Robertson for a moment. Now it's Taylor Gray. Robertson did get his foot on it, but the whistle was blown. It will be a free kick for Chattanooga.
Daniel Amos stepping up his intensity. Working hard for LA Force on that left side.
Dixon unable to keep possession. The pass to Hoffman a little behind him. Now Hernandez. Mcgrath to Robertson. Gray with the touch. Referee says play on. Nice work playing advantage. Broken up. Clear to the other end of the field. Frankie Martinez wisely heads it back to his keeper, Kevin Gonzalez. Colin Stripling. Do one of these teams have another good goal-scoring opportunity left in them before this one is over? Chattanooga would love to find a way to steal a late winner.
Yeah, to come out of here with 3 points.
And the long clearance from Gomez. I want to say it could have been an opportunity for Chandler Hoffman. Was a little bit of contact. Gonzalez came out to pick up the ball. Now Travis Ward is able to find Luke Ferreira. To Hernandez. Now Dixon. Taylor Gray doing a good job keeping possession. Back to Hernandez. To Travis Ward. Once again, Luke Ferreira. Frankie Martinez.
Big switch to the right side.
He's got Tate Robertson. Chattanooga doing everything they can to be. Are they being patient? Do they have that goal scoring opportunity left in them. And Alvarado with a long shot from very far away.
That had Gonzalez beat. If it was on frame, that'd have been trouble.
I want to say Edson Alvarado perhaps taking a page from the book of Patrick Schick. Whoever was watching the European Championship, yes, it was Euro 2020, but it did take place obviously in 2021. But yes, what a highlight that would have been had that gone in.
Pick your head up from 70 yards away, ping one in.
And just talk about a blast. Yes, we'd be talking about that for a long time had that gone in. The pass from Villon broken up. We got about 30 seconds left of normal time before we hit stoppage time. These last few minutes of the match, it has been Chattanooga with more possession. Will we see them get a shot on frame? Robertson looking for Gray. Taylor Gray was unable to keep possession. Cleared away, but straight to Stripling. To Robertson once again. Can this be the counterattack opportunity? Ball does go out of bounds. So 5 minutes of stoppage time. Looks like we are in for an exciting finish. Robertson looking for Gray. He has him. Will he be able to keep it in bounds? He was, but unable to keep possession. Cleared away by Amo. Off the head of Dixon. Goes out of bounds. Will be a throw-in for the LA Force.
Cleaning up once again, Dixon for Chattanooga. Gonzalez looking across the pitch.
Looking for Edson Alvarado. Went off the head of Travis Ward. And got to like the work tonight from the left back. Travis Ward previously did have a stint with Stumptown.
Came over with Coach Underwood.
McLaughlin finds Sayo Reis. And what a nice move by Reis. Looking for Alvarado. Little bit of traffic. And Travis Ward playing it to his keeper, Gonzalez. Looking a little scary at the last moment. Now Eric Villatoro providing the pressure on Hernandez. And that ball from Gonzalez goes straight to Clayton Torr. Villon back to Torr. We played a minute and a half so far of stoppage time. Sayo Reis with the cross. No one able to really pounce on it. It's on the far end of the field. Tate Robertson looking for Gray. But it looks like the ball did go out of bounds, and it will be a throw-in for the LA Force. Deep in Chattanooga territory, not wasting any time in taking the throw-in. This could be an opportunity. Villon with the cross. Headed away. It's not out just yet.
Great cross back into the area from Villon, just nobody home.
Now Daniel Amo takes a tumble. The referee did elect to play advantage.
The clean tackle.
And now the whistle.
That one was not.
And now the whistle is blown for the foul on Taylor Gray.
Alex Mcgrath earns the foul. He's played very well tonight, McGrath has, for Chattanooga.
And Alex Mcgrath with an interesting CV. Previously played for the OKC Energy, but before that also had a stint in Scotland with Queen of the South.
Is there a Queen of the North?
I'll have to check on that, but I'm going to say probably not. Now it's Taylor Gray.
That'd make a good rivalry, to say.
Agreed. McGrath. Got about a little under 2 minutes left of stoppage time. The way this one is going, I think we are destined for a 1-1 draw. Travis Ward finding Damian Gonzalez. Does go out of bounds. Will be a throw-in for the LA Force. Got about 90 seconds remaining. And you really want to see the LA Force with more of a sense of urgency. I mean, it's 1-1. Are you really happy?
No, you
with
haven't.
The 1-1 draw, you got to get that victory.
Yeah, you haven't won at home this season. You've had a varied number of homes if you're LA Force this season, but you've still yet to collect a home victory. You're 0-2 in home matches. Tonight would have been the night for that. I think the opportunities have been there for LA Force this evening.
And the pass from Villon to Hoffman. Can he find a way to get a shot on target? Not going to be easy with where he is on the pitch. The cross instead goes straight to Martinez. Now it's Garcia. Still Garcia. Back to Villon. Less than a minute remaining, and the whistle is blown for a foul. It will be a free kick for the LA Force, and you want to say this will likely be the last opportunity of the night.
Good little interplay there between Garcia and Villon. Garcia earns the foul. This probably will be one of the last kicks of the game, though.
I mean, this has got to be it. It's been a long day. We did have that weather delay, that extended halftime.
Villon telling Garcia, get in there. It's all man right now.
And looks like the free kick will be taken probably by Edson Alvarado. And here it comes. Headed high up into the air. It's not out just yet. Maybe a shot from Hoffman. And maybe one more opportunity, but unable to get his footing. Does go out of bounds for a corner kick. So, yes, one more chance now for the LA Force.
Hoffman just not able to get his feet underneath him. Tried the left-footed effort, but got a touch. Looks like maybe a little bit of deflection to clear it out from Chattanooga, and one more try here for LA Force.
They need this victory so badly. Can they find it? Here comes the corner kick. Headed away. Needs to go right back into the penalty area. And there is the final whistle. And that's how we end the final score. Los Angeles Force 1, Chattanooga FC 1. Chattanooga FC took the lead in the second minute through Marcus Naglestad, but it was Edwin Rivas who scored the equalizer in the 49th minute.
LA Force now has 10 goals across 10 league matches this season. So their offensive woes continue, and for Chattanooga, they get a point on the road, right, which is almost as good as a victory, all things considered, and they keep their unbeaten streak alive right now in league. And they keep atop the Eastern Conference in NISA with 20 points on the season, 6-2-1 now, and they move on to play at home against Michigan Stars on the weekend. LA Force, on the other hand, continued their unbeaten streak now at 3 games following their weekend road trip to New York. And now they move on this weekend to take on Cal United Strikers in Irvine at Championship Stadium on Sunday in a game that I will call.
And that's it for tonight from Covina Valley District Stadium in Covina, California. This was NISA Soccer Action live on 11 Sports, brought to you by TVE Max. Once again, the final score, Los Angeles Force 1, Chattanooga FC 1. For Dennis Pope, I'm Artis Takari.
Good night, everybody.